I'm excited to show you how easily you can make my healthier, tastier version of Love Crunch dark chocolate strawberry granola. It's made with all natural ingredients including oats, almond butter, coconut oil, and chia seeds. And it's naturally sweetened with cane sugar and honey. Dark chocolate chunks and freeze-dried strawberries are mixed in for a satisfying crunch and delicious flavor. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla and I am so glad you're here. If you love healthier, all-natural recipes like I do, then you are in the right place. To make this granola, we're going to start with 3½ cups of old-fashioned oats. Now, old-fashioned oats are the exact same thing as quick cooking oats, except the quick cooking oats have been chopped down into smaller pieces. You can use either one, but I have found that the larger old-fashioned oats work better because they give you a larger granola bite. Next, we're going to add 1/3 cup of sliced almonds, 1/3 cup of shredded coconut, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons of black chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of cane sugar, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then we'll give this a quick stir, and then we'll set this aside. Next, we're going to mix together our wet ingredients, which includes 1/3 cup of coconut oil, and then a really easy hack for measuring your honey without having to dirty and use a separate measuring cup is to just pour it directly into this measuring cup. We want to add 1/3 cup of honey, so I'm just going to pour in the honey until the total mixture reaches 2/3 cup, added to my 1/3 cup of oil. Next, we'll add 1/3 cup of almond butter, which is going to add a healthy fat as well as delicious flavor and texture. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, which just enhances the chocolate flavor, and an optional 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Now, the secret to getting those crunchy clusters of granola is to add egg whites. So I'm going to add 2 egg whites to this mix. Then I'll just take a whisk or a fork and mix these together until well combined. And then we can simply pour our wet mixture down into our dry mixture. Next, we want to mix it together until it's really well combined, and that cocoa powder is going to be a really good indicator of when we have it all mixed together. And you'll want to use a silicone spatula so that you can really scrape all the ingredients off the bottom to get it well mixed. Next, you'll want to take your cookie sheet and then line it with a sheet of parchment paper. And this is going to make it much easier for getting your granola off of your pan and into a storage container. Then we can simply spread our granola out in our pan. And you'll want to spread it out in a very even layer so that it also cooks evenly. And then the firmer you press it down with your spatula, the stronger those little clusters are going to be. And I want to make sure that the center in particular is not too thick because that's where the granola is going to bake the slowest, because the edges will get crispier before the center does. Now, when it comes to the chocolate chips, you can decide if you want to add them on before you bake your granola or after. You can sprinkle them on top of the granola right now before it goes into the oven, and then it's going to melt and kind of spread into your granola. Or you can wait until after your granola comes out and cools, and then you can sprinkle in your chocolate into your storage container with the granola, or you could just add the chocolate with each serving. I'm going to go ahead and bake it without the chocolate. So this is ready to go into a 350-degree oven for anywhere between about 20 and 26 minutes. So I'm going to put it in my oven and set it for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to take the pan out and spin it around, put it back in the oven, and then set it for an additional 10 minutes. And then I'm going to keep an eye on it towards the end of that 10 minutes to make sure it's not overcooked. But then I can also add a few more minutes if necessary to make sure it's all evenly toasted. Well, here is our perfectly toasted granola fresh out of the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and put it onto my cooling rack. Now we have 2 options for adding our chocolate. We can either spread our chocolate out onto the hot granola and then let it just partially melt into it, or we can wait until the granola cools completely and then add a little bit of chocolate chips to each serving. I'm going to go ahead and add some to the top of my granola right now so that it can melt into those clusters. And you can go around and kind of push them down in just to give them a head start on melting. I have loved cold cereal ever since I can remember, and I am especially a big fan of chocolate and strawberries. So combining those together in a bowl of cold cereal is my favorite way to enjoy it. So I have a bowl of granola here that I made yesterday, and you can see how it breaks apart into these really delicious clusters. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few chocolate chips right into my bowl. And then for the best part, which is our freeze-dried strawberries, I'm just going to break these up right on top of my granola. And then add some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, which is my favorite, but you could use any milk you like. And then make sure we get a bite with all 3 together. Crunchy. That is delicious. That has so much incredible flavor all in one bite. As soon as you bite in, you get that crunchy texture of the granola, and then you get a little bit of crunch coming in from the rich dark chocolate bits. And then as soon as the milk hits the strawberries, it totally releases their fresh, vibrant flavor. That is seriously so good, and I love knowing that I'm eating something with clean, natural ingredients, which means I'm gonna feel just as good even after I eat it. And I love that it's a mix of healthy fats, carbs, and protein, which means I'm gonna feel fuller longer. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe in the video description below, which takes you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.